I forget when my homegirl was telling me that her boyfriend was whooping her ass. I was at her house. It was in her room, and she said, "Courtney, he's been whooping my ass. He been spitting on me and yelling at me." And she said, "I don't understand. I don't know what's going on. Like, what do I need to do? And what's going on? Why is he doing this to me?" My parents know, my stepdaddy know, nobody's doing really anything. They don't really care. Okay, so I told her to give him a call. Call him up. Call him up. Call him up. Let's call him. Just call him. She said, "What we need to call?" I said, "I just want to call him. Just call him. Just see what he's doing. Call him." Just call him. I snatched the phone. When I tell you I ain't never dug so deep in a nigga ass, I said, "Put your hands on her again, bitch." Actually, don't put your hands on her again, bitch. You pull up right now. You pull up right now. You pull up right now. Come on down. He wouldn't come on down. Because he knew I was going to whip his ass. That nigga was 125 pounds, soaking wet. I would have laid him all out on the ground. I said, if I find out, if I hear your ass, if I see your ass, I'm on your ass. And he hung up on me. So I called him back. He picked up again. He said, "I'm sorry, Courtney. I didn't mean to do that." So I said, "Well, you don't tell him sorry to me, bitch. You say sorry to her. And if I find out, if I hear anything, bitch, I'm on your ass. I'm on your ass so good, you going to think I'm your ass. I'm watching your ass." And then from there, I think they was able to talk it out, and they was able to figure it out, and he don't whoop her ass no more. So sometimes it takes a village to let people know I'm not playing. That's the same thing with females. If I found out you beating up on my brother, my homeboy, I'm on your ass. It's accountability across all.
I've been watching Snap since I've been 12. Did y'all hear about that girl who begged a nigga not to play in her face? Like, literally sent the lyrics to SZA. "Why you bother me when you know you don't want me?" And he made it seem like he wanted her so bad, so bad, so bad, like Safari was doing Erica Mena. And he was playing her face, playing her face, playing her face. So she decided, like, they planned a trip, like, they planned to do something, but he canceled the plan. So she decided that she's still gonna go on her plans. He got her fucked up, and then she drove to his job and kidnapped him and threw him in, hog-tied him and threw him in the trunk. And then when she threw him in the trunk, she drove him to a rural area like 3 hours out and left him there. But when she had her phone, she left her phone at his job in the parking lot because she knew that the phone would ping a cell phone tower where he's at. And she didn't want that because she watches a lot of crime television. So she knows what the fuck is going on, and she knows what the first thing they're going to do. And then she also didn't even take her cell phone. She left her cell phone at the hotel, and she had a burner phone. And when she seen him come out, that's when she, like, got him, put him in the trunk, and, like, basically when she got there, she told him, like, "I told you to stop playing with me, and you didn't stop playing, and you should have stopped playing with my feelings. Pray don't play with my feelings, or the shit gonna get domestic." And then she left him there. And they was, like, 3 hours out. She left him there. No phone, no wallet, no nothing. So he had to, like, but she really didn't leave him. She really just parked at the gas station, like, 5 miles down the road. So when she finally sat there for, like, 2 hours waiting for him to walk these 5 miles, and she seen him, she pulled up and was like, "Get in the car. I told you to stop fucking playing with me." And then she drove him back to work, and then he pressed charges on her, and she went to jail for, like, 6 months. No, y'all didn't hear about it. It's going to be on the evening news tomorrow. Stay tuned. Need to stop playing with people's feelings.
The difference between my mom and my stepmom as mothers is that when my mother realized, oopsie daisy, I got tricked into marrying an abusive, coke-addicted, serial cheating narcissist, she ran her little ass right to that courthouse and she filed for divorce regardless of the fact that she had 2 small children at home. And then when that man continued to break into our house and attack her in front of us, she ran her little ass right back to that courthouse. She filed for full custody and got a restraining order against him. Then she went out. She found herself a new man who was none of those things, married him, and he helped her raise us. And that is who we all grew up calling dad, and my parents are still married to this day, okay? Now, my stepmother, when she realized what she had married, instead of doing that, she decided, oh, I'm going to stick it out for the kids. I'm going to stay with him for the kids. So my siblings got to grow up knowing, ooh, yay, I have him for a dad. What a winner. What a winner that they had for a dad. They knew that their dad was cheating on their mom and that he was an addict. And ultimately, what this led to was my stepmom divorcing him the day her final kid with him turned 18, okay? And then my dad taking everything from her in that divorce. So she had to completely start over. And then my dad continuing to stalk her and break into her house and do all the same things he did to my mother. And then my dad getting so mad that she blocked him on everything that he just killed himself. And then my little sister going to his house to see why he wasn't responding to messages and finding his decaying corpse. My sister, who is a fresh adult, now has to live with that memory for the rest of her life. So when you're sitting there and you're thinking, I really want to stay with him for the kids, about that toxic relationship that you're in, think about the fact that you can either be like my stepmom in this situation, or you can take the other path and be like my mom and go find yourself a good man.
Now, this is part one of how my mom dated a killer and how he unalived her. So this happened when I was about 6 or 7. And, like, I just remember as a kid, like, it playing on the news, like, back to back. Like, when it happened, every person's house we went to, it was on the news. Like, and that was traumatizing for me as a kid. But, like, so, like, when he used to come around, me and my sister never liked him. Like, as kids, we was like, ugh, we just do not like him. We was like, mama, like, we didn't even understand why she liked him. Like, but she was all about him. And whenever he came over, it was like, he took her attention off of us. Like, they would be in the room. So we'd be like, you know, like, who this dude think he is, just coming over, you know. But it was just like, he kind of looked, I don't know, just like us as kids, like, we just peeped it, like, man, something ain't right with this man. But my mom was, like, into him, y'all. I'm trying to tell y'all. And I remember, like, he used to try to, like, win my mama over, clean up the house, cook her breakfast. And so my mom was like, you know, like, ooh, y'all, do y'all like him? We like, mm-mm. And so, like, every weekend, we would go to our auntie's house because she only had one daughter and another one was in college. So we would always go to our cousin's house and visit with her on the weekends. And so, yeah, so when he would be over, me and my sister would be like, ooh, we were leaving, you know what I'm saying? Because he always got her in the room now. So we was kind of excited to be leaving, whatever. That was, like, the gist of, like, how things were going. And, like, I remember one time when we was about to get our butt whooped because we had did something. And we used to run, like, make our mama chase us, you know, like, your mama have a switch or something. So we would run from my mama. Why one time, he started trying to chase us, like, to make our mama catch us. Like, me and my sister was looking like, y'all. And so I remember one time, me and my sister, we was really trying to run now. And I remember I had hid up under the bed, like, all the way in the back. And so I was, like, looking, and he, like, found me. And he had, I guess he was cooking something. He had one of those little long forks, you know, like the long pitchforks, like when you grill and you, like, poking the sausage or whatever, or the meat. He, like, had that and was like, so, like I said, when he did the little pitchfork thing, like, that already was like, this dude is weird. I never told my mom about that, though. But I will say, when we had left that weekend, because like I said, we went to my auntie's house every weekend, we had gave our mom a hug and kiss. She met us, like, she was at the doorstep. We gave her a hug and kiss. When my uncle hit that curb, we was like, wait, we forgot to give our mom a hug and a kiss. It was evident we gave our mom a hug. So it was like, we had a feeling. We knew our mama, we wasn't going to see our mama again. Like, I'm telling y'all, I'm not lying. Like, we had a feeling that something was just weird. So sometimes when I leave the house with my kids and they cry, it's, like, very triggering for me. Because I'm like, am I going to come back? Like, what y'all crying for? What y'all crying for? You know, so, yeah. So, yeah, it's going to stop. But, yeah, that's part 2. Okay, y'all, this is part 3. So, like I said, when me and my cousins and my sister was playing, like, it was cool until it hit, like, bedtime. And I swear, y'all, it was, like, something so heavy on my heart where I could not even go to sleep. Like, I was just, like, thinking about my mama, like, oh, my God, something is wrong. And my mama, she was the type of mama where we had to know our address by heart, her number by heart, house phone number by heart, all that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like looking for the house phone. At this point, I know everybody in the house is asleep. And I'm like, Mama, when I called her, y'all, important details. When my mama used to be mad or arguing with anybody, she would shut her room, lock her door, and blast the music. That's immediately what I heard. I'm like, Mama, what's going on? Why you mad? She like, girl, stay in the child's place. And then I hear him banging on the door. I'm like, Mama, is everything okay? So she's like, yes, girl, stay in the child's place. Da 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 da. I'm like, oh my God. Okay, as requested, this is a longer part 4. Sorry, y'all. I was watching back the videos and I was like, oh my gosh, those were really short. But anyway, just bear with me. I got y'all. So, so I was after I got off the phone with my mama. That's where we was at, right? It was so hard for me to go to sleep, y'all, but I finally dozed off, and then I woke up in a panic, like a damn hot flash. Like I was like, oh my God, let me hurry up and call my mama. Let me hurry up and call my mama. I hurry up and called her back, no answer. When I woke up in that panic, y'all, I really feel like that's when she took her last breath. Like, I really do. It's nothing that nobody can tell me. Shh, baby. Shh. There's nothing that nobody can tell me to make me believe that wasn't her taking her last breath when I woke up like that. So, when I had woke up, my sister woke up, my cousin woke up. Me and my sister kind of had the same vibe. Like, we was just off. Like, we wasn't excited. Like, ooh, we finna go run and play. It was like, it was just very, like, dry, basically. So, we went downstairs. My cousin, like, y'all want to play Monopoly? We just, like, yeah, like, you know, like, the vibes was off. So, we started playing Monopoly. I swear to God, y'all, me and my sister started crying in sync. Like, busting out crying. My cousin looking like, what's wrong with y'all? And from that point on, it was like everything was a domino effect. So me and my sister start crying, and then we hear our auntie upstairs yelling and screaming, crying. And then the doorbell ring, and it was like a sheriff knocked on the door. Y'all, I'll never forget. Knocked on the door and was like, hey, are you guys relatives of such and such? Uh, of such and such. We need somebody to come identify the body. Like, the whole house went crazy. Like, it was just that right there, just that, y'all. Anyway, yeah. That part is just hard for me to even think about. Like, everybody just started going crazy, crying, like, oh my God, oh my God. Anyway, me and my sister looking at each other scared as hell, like, damn, we not gonna be able to go back home. Like, we thinking all type of stuff. Where we gonna stay now? Like, where we gonna live? Like, so that was just so fearful. So after that happened, my uncle did have to go and identify the body. They had to take pictures and for evidence and everything in court. So then I just want to insert a picture so you guys can see how teen my mama was. But yeah, so back to the story. My uncle went to go identify. They also took pictures as well for court. And then y'all, so like when a couple of family members and my sister, my older sister, got to the house, I mentioned, like, y'all called my mama last night and they were arguing. She was like, why you didn't tell nobody? It wasn't to, like, a part where she tried to make me feel guilty. Because I feel like a lot of kids probably would have took that as always my fault. I didn't tell to save my mama. I never felt like that or nothing. So that was good. I can only imagine how that would have made me feel. But the way he had killed her was he strangled her to death. They said that, like, this part of her, like, of that little line right there was disconnected. They said her ear, like, this part was disconnected. Like, he really, like, damaged her face. And that was even scary to think about. But crazy thing is, y'all, he slept with her the whole night. Yeah. And then he woke up and turned himself in. So, yeah. a little backstory on how me and my sister's life went. We did end up staying and living with the auntie that house we was over. Excuse me. We did end up living with her. Um, she was doing well in life, so we ended up kind of like, I don't want to say things happen for a reason because that would be only strictly selfish just because how our life turned out. But my auntie was well off, you know. I think me and my sister, uh, we didn't have to share rooms with our cousin or nothing. We went to a good school. We lived in a city at the time, so that's kind of how like everything happened. When we did have to flunk a grade because we was terrified about going to school. Y'all, the first time I had went to school, them kids was looking at me like I was crazy, just looking like. And I don't know if the teacher had maybe told them like, hey, you guys, like when she comes back to school, please don't ask any questions. One little girl asked me, did your mom die? And I just ran the heck out of class. Like, I just could not take it. I didn't want to go back to that school. And so then, yeah, that's a little backstory. If y'all got any questions, y'all can ask. I don't want to disclose his name because I swear I think he got out of jail like in August of last year. So I don't want to disclose his name. The videos are already doing well, so.
When I was 7 years old, my mother believed I had a crush on her. For those that are new here, my name is Kaina Kwame, and I was abused as a baby. My bones have been broken. I have been strangled. I have been drowned. I have been burnt. I have been choked. All under the age of 5 years old. And as a result of that abuse, I hear voices today as an adult, and I have tactile hallucinations as well, which means I hear things and I feel things hallucination-wise. Let me give you a little backstory so it makes more sense. During this time period, I was about 7, 8 years old. My sisters accused me of SAing them in their sleep, which I did not do. I did not touch anybody. Why would I touch somebody? Like, what the fuck? No, I didn't do that. Just making that fucking clear. Anyways, my mother told me that she had been watching me for some time and said that apparently she was watching me watch her. She said that every time that she bent over that I would look at her ass and watch her as she bent over, which was a lie. Mind you, I'm 7, 8 years old. She said I made her feel uncomfortable, and it's continued on for about a year. I remember she was pregnant with my sister and she had to give birth and they had nobody to watch me. I'm the oldest of 7. So I had to go to the delivery room with her. And I was watching her give birth. Because, no one was there to take care of me. I was just in the delivery room. And I was just staring at her because I was in awe. And I remember when she got out of the delivery room, she ended up calling me a creep and cursing me out because apparently I wanted her. And I couldn't keep my creepy desires to myself while she was naked giving birth. First off, fucking disgusting. My mother was overweight. Not to be that person, and that's my mom. And she's a girl. And I was 7. And I didn't want her to begin with. There's so many reasons why. That's just so fucking delusional. Apparently, she said that I made it my mission to come into her room and watch her get dressed and get changed. Which is, again, a lie. I would try to be affectionate with her, give my mom a hug, give her a kiss like a regular kid does. Apparently, she took that as me trying to do sexual advances towards her. My mother really believed that I liked her and had a crush on her. That's sick. I was just sitting here thinking that, my mother used to think I fucking liked her. My mother used to really think that I wanted to get nasty with her. Who the fuck gives birth and thinks that their child is, looking at their punani and wanting to, eat it and devour it? Who the hell thinks that their little child, when it gives them hugs and kisses, wants to, that's a sexual advance? Who in the hell is bending over in front of their child and oh, my child's looking at me right now. My child's looking at my ass. She wants me. Who does that? Yeah, sick in the mind. Sick in the head. Yeah, sick in the head.